they weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, it'll be a cool day, a high low 60s across the north, near 70 south. Clear skies, low to mid 40s overnight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies, high temperatures warming up in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Thanks for listening in today. So glad to be with you on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Welcome into halftime. What a great weekend it was. Morning, Matt Jones. Did you have a big weekend? I can tell you we had a great time in Nashville. It was a lot of fun. How about you?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Final Four, it's here. Yeah, Ian, the Whistler, Ian, I'm not a big fan of that dude, but hey, when you can go 3-0, right? The baseball Hogs go 3-0?
Absolutely, they did. They did. It was the first time that they've swept Vanderbilt in a series in Nashville for 3 games since '94, which was my graduation year of high school. Things were a lot different back then, and we do have a Final Four set with all number 1 seeds. I got a chance to listen to most of the Auburn-Michigan State game on a drive back from Nashville yesterday, but I did not watch any of the Houston-Tennessee game. Do we have any surprise of the way that both Alabama and Tennessee were shown the door by Duke and by Houston, 2 teams that I thought Tennessee might make it to the Final Four. We talked with Aaron Torres on Friday. He thought Alabama and Duke were maybe the 2 teams playing the best basketball in the country. But no surprise Duke wins, I guess, but a surprise of plus 20. And even the biggest skeptic for Tennessee be a little surprised that they nearly lose by 20 points. It's independent of the strength of the SEC or anything like that. Just wouldn't have expected two blowouts in those games, Matt.
Well, you see this in a few years ago. I remember seeing it, but you're going to have Duke and Houston, and I think most people think right now that's the winner of that game wins the national championship game. But when you get Florida Auburn on that side, man, Florida gets past Auburn, and you're going to go. The Duke Houston's going to be a battle. I mean, you're going to be absolutely wore out. It's like a 10-round knockout fight. You get 1 day of recovery time. And then, so Florida, I think, has just as good as a chance. I think Auburn's fourth best. I think Houston and Duke are 1A and 1B. And then I think the fact that they're going to just knock each other out, that national championship game would be a coin flip as well.
Well, look, there have been some really great games, maybe not big-time upsets, but I don't think that means that this tournament hasn't been at least an entertaining one or a successful one. Just don't necessarily have like that one moment that stands out amongst everything else. You know, Razorback fans have their moments that stand out in plenty of good ways, but obviously the way things ended with Texas Tech leaves you probably wanting a little bit more, just because it looked pretty obvious, at least for the first 30 minutes to 36 minutes, that Arkansas was the better team and would be moving on to the Elite Eight. You do have to play a full 40, and in that case, a full 45. But there hasn't been like that moment or the one team that everybody's rallying around and being all excited about because you don't even know where the school is located. But that has nothing to do with the quality of the basketball and the quality of the teams. And hey, I would expect, Matt, if you independent of any of the names on the front of the jersey or on the back of the jersey, just the fact that it's 4 number 1 seeds, this ought to be an amazingly entertaining Final Four. You know, I'm not gonna do the SEC, pull for the SEC thing, but I have thought Florida and Duke would be in there from the start of the tournament, and I still think that'll be the case too. Man, Florida's just a team that's got so many different ways to beat you, and I don't even think Duke is just a dominated team by Cooper Flagg. He's the best player on the court, but they got plenty of options too. That's a team that would do very well in the SEC. You can look at whatever their quality wins were in the league that they played in. They dominated that league, and to me, that's a program that would fit just fine against anybody in the SEC. So I think a Florida-Duke game, Matt, that ought to be awfully entertaining.
Man, I think those are, when we were talking about the bracket before it started out, and if you're talking about getting Florida's best or Duke's best, I'm with it. I do think so. But Houston's impressed me a lot as well. I still think Duke's should be a slight favorite. I do, but Houston, they got that dog in them, man. They are tough. They got some dudes that can shoot. They're fearless. I think that battle right there, that's for the winner of the national championship.
Do you find yourself rooting for anybody in the tournament, or is it a matter of that you love watching high level competition with great athletes? Do you, Matt, do you find yourself rooting for anybody when you're watching these games, or moving forward? Is there a team that you kind of pick out amongst any of the others?
You know, I root for talent, exactly, greatness, people that are really good at their craft, just in some little 1% way, because Kelvin Sampson recruited me when he was the head best ball coach at Oklahoma. I'm pulling for him. Not that he even remembers recruiting me, but you kind of know that type of thing. Never been an SEC guy. I mean, I get it for the conference; it's the best, but I don't ever root for another SEC team ever. So it's that's not going to be a thing that's ever happened. It's Arkansas or bust. But yeah, Dookie, growing up, Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, that whole how Duke, and I know that sometimes it sits in people's mouth wrong, and it's usually a villain. I think they said this Duke team's the most liked Duke team ever, is as far as like Cooper Flagg being the star, because there was hatred for Christian Laettner. There was hatred for J.J. Redick. It wasn't like it really wasn't like the lovable Dukies. So, but yeah, I mean, I like greatness, and I like the fact that there's going to be a lot of talent on the floor.
Well, those Duke teams were also kind of, I know they played in different leagues, but they did play for a national title, and you couldn't root for Michigan and for Duke at the same time. You were a Michigan guy, I know that. Big Jalen Rose guy, and I think a lot of people probably pulled more for Michigan than Duke, just in terms of the cool factor back then as well. But, you couldn't have rooted for both of those teams. And, there isn't another There isn't another program like that right now. And the idea of a cultural touchstone of what that Michigan team, the Fab Five, was all about.
Jerry Stackhouse, Vince Carter, Antoine James. I was always a North Carolina guy over Duke.
Well, then
anyways.
there's that, sure. Well, how did you watch? In your mind, so I got the kids and I get back to the hotel after Arkansas beats Vanderbilt Saturday. Clinch the series. That made it already a good day. So we get back, we start watching Florida Texas Tech, and the three of us, well, I had to convince my son. My daughter's like into any sport that I can throw on television right now. I'd be interested to see, Matt, if I put soccer on, if she would actually be interested, because if there's competition on TV, she wants to watch it. So we're watching Florida and Texas Tech, and we're rooting for the Gators. We just are. We're rooting for the Gators, and it was so great to see. And I don't have anything against Texas Tech. I truly don't. It's not like a program that you look at it like, gosh, I hate those guys, or we could never beat them back in the day, and rival, or no. But nobody feels about Texas Tech like that. It's just they beat Arkansas in the most heartbreaking way. And so when it happens to them, like I've seen this before, Matt. I saw this when the Braves would lose World Series in the early 90s. And I took as much joy in their pain as I would have maybe if my team would have beaten them. Like, I don't know if you view the Texas Tech thing the same way, because if you'd have beaten Tech and moved to the Elite Eight.
No, I don't ever want them to win. Whoever beats my team, like whenever we're playing, like if you're in high school or you're in college and you're playing a tournament and that team beats you, I don't want that team to go and win. I want somebody to beat them as well, 100%.
I'm as petty as it gets. Some of you might find that out personally. I don't know. But like when North Carolina State beat Arkansas in the Super Regional in 21, I turned into about as anti-NC State as you could get. Had no reason other than
because they're the wolf pack and they're part of the dog breed. I understand now. It makes a little more sense.
Now, I didn't like the way they had to go out because of the whole COVID testing thing and all of that. That was actually a likable team and a program that was a Cinderella. But I hated them just because they broke our hearts. Like, I could appreciate how good they were, and if they won a national title, maybe that means Arkansas really was second best. But I hated them for at least those 2 weeks because it hurt. It hurt. You don't like people when they hurt you. Look, we can all appreciate that. So it was great to see Arkansas get out of Hawkins this past weekend, knowing that the Whistler really never had a chance to get his thing going. Why is his name I don't even know.
Well, so high fidelity when they're talking about Tim Robbins, so I just gave him the name Ian because we don't like him, and so he looks like an Ian, right?
He has the man bun. You're right. That was actually perfectly placed. I need to watch High Fidelity at least one more time, and so do you. And you need to get with us as we go through halftime today on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Just one guest is going to be Mike Irwin, about 20 minutes from Pig Trail Nation. So we'll hit on Final Four basketball. You got to look back. Obviously, it's been such a fun 2 months, but up until probably the Kentucky game in mid-February, early February. I don't remember the date it was. Maybe it wasn't like a lot of fun up until then, but man, it has been a fun at least 7 to 8 weeks. But then you got to look forward, because that's what the program is doing right now. Everybody's got to look forward. Every player's got a decision to make. Every coach has players that they're talking to and looking at in the portal and scouting on tape and talking to other scouts and figuring out what this basketball team's going to look like moving forward. And so is Coach Music, the new women's coach. She's doing the exact same thing and is probably going to, I don't know, but maybe starting from even more scratch than Cal did last year. I think every offseason in every sport, because of the way things are in college sports now, are going to be fascinating. So I shouldn't think any differently about what this will be. It's the first time now in the new Cal era and the new Coach Music era that we get to talk about them. Cal built a team from zero last year, but now he's got a chance. It's not going to be all over again, and Coach Music does the same. Fans can look back, but I think people are probably a little more interested, Matt, in looking forward and seeing what these teams look like.
100%. So let's look back to the last 2 years when UConn won the national championship, Phil. Do you think any of these four teams that are in the Final Four right now would be good enough to beat those UConn teams from the last 2 years that won national titles? Because we're kind of seeing how good you have to be. Look, we're talking about Duke and Houston, how elite they are, right? And Florida can put up, and Auburn's fourth best, and they're Would any of them be favored over either one of those two UConn teams that won the national title last year?
I feel like you'd really give Duke a fighting chance because they might have the best player on the court. And I think Florida's a team that can attack you from so many different angles. I mean, that is a scary team. I think there are teams that could compete with UConn from the last couple of years. It's too bad. I guess we'll have to wait for AI to put those teams on the court or some kind of NCAA EA Sports basketball game to figure out who would be the winner, because UConn didn't get their third year and they were a much different team. The Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for the next segment. Get with us, calls or texts, 877-377-6963. We'll come back in just a moment.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Hey, Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, you guys have a massive event coming up May 2nd and May the 3rd.
We will have the Kawasaki Good Times demo truck here for Kawasaki demo rides, games, and prizes. Rollin' Smoke Barbecue food truck will also be here, and on that Friday, Ruskin and Zach will report live from the event. That is the Steel Horse Rally weekend. See our Facebook page for all the details and updates.
That's Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel it as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Dear friend, if you want to feel better, don't let the devil make you toss this letter. If you've been trussed up by voodoo, come on, sit up. You got family trouble, man trouble, woman trouble, no life through the trouble. You're looking for a true friend or a true lover, or if you've been living in the trouble. I'm coming to your town to break it all down and help you with all of this. I'm looking to help you find bliss. One day, a one-way can't miss.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I'm not the only coach in the league that never swept a mirror. What did I hear? They hadn't been swept at home since '94. I don't think Coach Corbin, since he's been here, he started the same year I did. I don't think he's ever been swept at home. I just don't remember it, because I follow it pretty closely every year, and I think it would have stood out to me. I don't say I savor it. I just appreciate the effort from the players, and it was a really good win. Sweeps are hard to get. It doesn't matter if you're playing the best team in the league or the team with the worst record. And you look at some of the teams that have bad records in our league, they're really talented, and they're going through a rough time. So I don't get too high or low. I just enjoy it for a few hours, and then I'll move on to the next game, honestly.
It's the first time Vandy been swept in their own ballpark since Tennessee did it in 22. Dave was referring to the last time Arkansas had swept Vandy in Nashville, which was 1994. And I got thoughts on Vanderbilt right now. That is not the same program that won 2 national championships or was a threat to make Omaha on an annual basis. They still might be okay, but they look right now just like another SEC program, which means they're good, but not potentially great. They've got some things to work on. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Specifically hitting is what they've got to work on. The Hogs pitchers is a reason, one of the reasons why. Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and Brent is here. Good morning, Brent. How are you?
Bill, I am great. How about you and Matt?
It's a great day.
It's a great day to be an Arkansas Razorback. And Phil, I wanted to talk a little bit about our baseball team, if I can.
We never do that here. We never do that here, Brent. We never talk about race. Go ahead. Yes.
And I agree with you 150%. Vanderbilt is a shadow of their former selves that won the 2 national championships. They've got zero power, and their pitching is okay. Not great, okay. And it couldn't happen to a better bunch of guys. That's all I'm saying. But talking about this Razorback baseball team, Phil, do you get the urge that no matter what, we're never out of a game? Do you see that? Do you feel that a lot of times we're never out of a game?
I do feel like that, and it's because what one thing they're really good at is just exploding for a big inning once or twice per game. That's a difficult thing to quantify in your mind, and that works on both ways. So I think with like Dave Van Horn and the way you manage an offense like that is you do wait a little bit. I know we would talk a lot about hit and run and about stealing bases and everything, but this is a team that hits for power, and you got to let that happen. You got to let these guys get their at-bats. I see him waiting back a little bit more because of its propensity for the big inning. And the big inning yesterday is what got them across, certainly against Vanderbilt. The first game, they kept some pressure on them. So, yes, they're not going to be out of a game. And they've already come from behind down in the 9th inning, trailing in the 8th. They are a dangerous team no matter what inning they're batting, Brent.
And another thing I wanted to ask, Phil, have you ever seen a batting order as potent and a leadoff man as potent as Arkansas's got in college baseball right now?
I mean, I'd have to look at some of the lineups here, Brent. I don't know if there would be another kind of, and you're talking about the power for Davalon. It's not necessarily just his ability to get on base or anything like that. but he does that a lot too. But there is some pop for Charles Davalon, and he is tough to strike out as well. I mean, let's put it in these terms. This is kind of nuts to think about it in this case. Charles Davalon, he's played 29 games. He's hit 9 home runs. Take a guess, Brent, how many times he has struck out? 9 home runs.
9 times.
9 strikeouts and 9 home runs. Are you serious? There isn't another player in the country that has a power to strikeout ratio, which I don't think I've ever thought of before, than Charles Davalon.
And think about the tear he's on, because at the beginning of the year in Dallas or at the Rangers, he wasn't hitting very much.
He had a little bit of, I don't know if the leg kick was a thing that was a reason why or what, but I do see with Davalon, like, he's a tinkerer. He's a guy that will have like 7 or 8 different batting stances in a season, and he'll find a way to make it work. He's a good left fielder too. That's a tough left field to play, and he played one of the balls off the fence in perfect fashion. The Razorback outfielders, the way they played a couple of balls off the fence, Thomas included, that's another reason why they won the series and why they won yesterday's game, because they made some great throws yesterday on, what was the play? It was in the 6th inning. They caught the kid between second and third base, because Thomas made a great throw, Souza made a great throw, and so did Helfrich, and they were long throws. That right there shows it's not just a power hitting team. It's not just a team that has a good pitching staff bordering on the ability maybe to be great. They're really good in the field, and those long throws yesterday told me something about it.
Yes, sir. And I love the Caboose gang, 7 through 9. They're worth the price of admission, especially now with Sousa starting to hit really well and Helfrich.
Well, you know another thing about all 3 of those guys, Helfrich too, they're fast. 7, 8, 9. All these guys can run. Like, Sousa may be the fastest guy on the team. Thomas can run, and I'd love to put Ryder Helfrich in a 100-meter race against any other catcher in the SEC, because he's like, that's a kid who's it's like a center fielder that's playing catcher. I know he's a catcher, but he's got the quickness of any other position that you wouldn't put behind the plate.
Hey, they didn't show it on TV, but you know when Sousa hit the wall in the 8th, top of the 9th, or when was it? Sousa hit the wall and got thrown out at second.
Yeah, 8th inning.
That outfielder, he just made a great play with the ball off the wall, wasn't it? And a really good throw. I couldn't see it on TV. It didn't show it.
No, you're right. And that, Brent, that's a product of somebody that's probably taken about 100 fly balls off that big left field fence. Because if you're going to play most of your games there, you better know how to play off a green monster. So, yeah, it was a really nice play. Brent, I appreciate your phone call, man. It is great to hear from you. Lane in Cave City's been waiting for a bit. Lane, good morning. Thanks for calling in. What's up?
Hey, I hope you and Mr. Matt's doing okay today, sir. Hey, great win this weekend for the Hogs. Now, here's my question. So, I feel like this year we have from 1 through 9 in our batting order. We have our power is so evenly dispersed throughout there that we are able to make a run. To where in years past we had maybe 2 guys at the top of the batting order that was, or middle of the batting order, that was all of our power, and then we was kind of iffy on whether we was going to get production from the other 7 or 6 guys in the batting order. Am I right to feel that way, that we have a batting order that's set up to make a deep run?
I think so, yes. It's a deep team in a lot of ways. Starting pitching, relief pitching. I do think a little bit about the back of the bullpen and the steadiness of maybe like a 1-run game in the 9th inning and needing to not allow that last run. That's one thing I do. It's not concerning because the talent's there. It's just they got to figure out who it is that they're going to give the ball to in the 9th inning and trust that you're not going to allow that run. Or 7th, 8th, 9th, if that's what you want to do. And I think that might have been the plan with Carson Wiggins, but he gave up a run on Saturday and the game was tied up. But yes, the depth of this lineup is the same kind of depth that you saw in 2018 when Carson Shaddy was batting ninth for a lot of the season and had over 60 RBIs. And it was the same in 2019. A lineup that really does test a pitching staff because you can never take a batter off. And it's not like sometimes, a pitcher knows the bottom of the batting order is really weak. Heck, Vanderbilt, I think 4 through 9 isn't really strong. It's not like you take anything off, but nobody really scares you all that much. There's 1 through 6. The entire 1 through 6 is frightening. I think frightening pitchers. 7, 8, and 9 can hurt you with the Caboose gang because they're better hitters than they were last year, and they're fast, and they're going to put pressure on you. So, yes, the depth is there in every sense to make a run. And I know I saw a text about this earlier on the Morning Rush. Peaking in March and early April. Last year's team kind of peaked in early March and April. This is a better team. I'll say this, you're going to be playing much better clubs after this next week, and you got to go to Georgia. Like, that's a team that's hit 8 million home runs already. They're going to match you in terms of power. Probably not pitching, but you're playing in their ballpark. I believe what I see. I think this is a really good team. I don't blame you, anybody out there listening, if you're waiting to believe until May, because you've had your heart broken before. But this is a better team. I will stand on that from day one. This is a much better team than last year.
Well, and that was one thing you kind of got into my second question. Then I'll hang up and listen to y'all. And I haven't watched a single game other than listening to you and Bubba call our games, and then when they're on TV, watch them every now and then. But how do you think we stack up against the Texas, Tennessee, Georgia in this conference? I mean, are we right there with them, or do you know much about them? And I'll hang up listening to y'all.
Look, in terms of the standings, you're right there with them because there are 4 8-1 teams in SEC play: Arkansas, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. LSU is probably near as good as those teams. They lost 2 out of 3 to Texas. Arkansas can play with any of those teams. They have the talent of any of those teams. Believe what you see. Believe what you've heard, too, Lane, from what Bubba and I are saying. That doesn't mean that they're going to beat those teams in series. Baseball's a crazy game. Those are really, really good teams. You got to go on the road to we're going to Baton Rouge, and you get Texas and LSU and Tennessee. Well, no, you get Tennessee and Texas at home, so that helps. You got to go to Georgia. What do you say? Split those games? I'd say there's something about this team right now and the way they fight you. They may trail in the 7th or 8th against those ball clubs, but they're never going to be out of it. And then you won't face teams like that. You win enough games, and they've already won 9 SEC games. You keep winning games at this rate, you're hosting, you're not playing anybody like Texas, anybody like Tennessee, anybody like Georgia until the College World Series, so, but yes, they have the talent, the same kind of talent level of those clubs, Lane. I'm pretty sure of that. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Matt, all I can say is let's go baseball.
It's that time of year. There's nothing else. Hey, the basketball team, that they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and gave us something to watch there for a little bit. You got to tip your hat to the basketball team because it could have very easily went the other way. And so that brought a little joy, I think, to some Razorback fans. And now I think you got a legitimate shot of winning an SEC regular season title, of winning an SEC tournament, and making it to Omaha. So absolutely, there's some hope with baseball. Let's go baseball.
And I'm not going to book my rooms for Omaha just yet.
Never. That's right.
I will, however, book my room for Hoover because everybody makes the SEC tournament. So why not plan ahead, right? 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, presenting the Greater River Valley RV Show. They've been in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and counting, giving each buyer and their family the absolute best purchasing experience. choosing the right RV to personalized financing to a top of the line parts and service department. And you can work with Crabtree RV easily. Just give them a visit at their showroom right where I-40 and I-49 come together. They're right beside the Cracker Barrel, or you can get a look online at crabtreerv.com. And we'll come back with Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation right after this.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Fords Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Fords Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoFordsGrid.com. That's GoFordsGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoFordsGrid.com. Fords Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren, the best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Won't you come down with me? Walk won't you lie in the sunset, babe? Fly to heaven.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Let's head to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on Halftime. Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin with us on a Monday morning. Good morning, Mike. What's on your mind?
Oh, man, got to deal with Ask Mike later today. Lots of basketball questions, baseball questions, softball questions. No football questions this week. Guess they've been on spring break. But, somebody asked on this Ask Mike thing, which is worse, not going to the tournament at all last year or getting to maybe within a few seconds of a chance to go to the Final Four and having the door shut in your face, which is worse. And obviously, initially, it's more painful to come that close and not make it. Now, what happens is a day or two later, 3 days later, people start to put this into perspective, and they realize where this program was a year ago at this time when you didn't even know who your head coach was going to be, to, you went to the Sweet 16, almost made it to the Elite Eight. You got a lot of these guys probably coming back. You got the third-ranked recruiting class right now, so things are looking a lot better than they did a year ago.
That was a question I guess I was going to ask Mike was who's a guy 100% that is it Carter Knox? Is it DJ Wagner that you're like they have to be a Razorback next year?
Well, I think those three would help because it would then give you the experience you needed that you didn't have this year of guys coming back who have tournament experience. And then you got to look at Brazil. No, I don't think he said anything, so he's still eligible to come back. I think everybody figures Boogie Fland is gone. I mean, he's probably going to declare for the draft, and then the only way he comes back is if he got a bad report. Not sure about Thero. Again, he'll probably declare, and some people have said, well, if you declare on this team, they're not going to let you back because the way Cal recruits, there won't be any spots available. But he's already said he's going to use up more of his scholarships to get more depth. They got to go get a big man to replace Adu. I think they're doing a Zoom today with one of the top power forwards. The guy weighs about 250 and 6'8", 250. They need a banger inside, another one. So I think everybody has a good feeling about. I mean, the one thing you can say about this guy, he knows how to recruit, and he will continue to do that. Now, the thing is, what is a reasonable expectation? Because a lot of people have them going to the Final Four next year. Your expectation can be whatever you want it to be. But the NCAA is a crapshoot. It is every year. In 95, Nolan took the same basic group of guys that had won a national championship into the NCAA tournament, and they came within a whisker of losing in the round of 64 and the round of 32. Now, they played better after that, but you just don't know what's going to happen. But, we got a year to worry about that.
Well, all right. So I know Cal was selling the idea of being the underdog this year, and they were, but at least in the first couple of games because of the seed and because of the resume. But I think if we were being honest about the athletes on the court, Arkansas had the better athletes. I don't really know if they were Cinderella. You're going to be here every year. Like, so this is the same in Kentucky with Cal. You're going to be in this situation every year. I don't mean as a 10 seed. I mean as a very talented team that will be in the national, that will be in the NCAA tournament, that will have a high seed, I think, moving forward, that will have an incredible amount of talent, and is going to have expectations going into the tournament, too. Where that's the thing. It's like, so you make Sweet 16 one year, you want to get Elite Eight next year, and all of that. It's just, with Cal as the coach, this feels like a floor, being a 10 seed and being an underdog and a darling. Like, I don't expect that's the case any longer.
Yeah, so then do you get back into this whole idea that he coaches better the way he did this year and he's not very good at coaching a team that's a favorite. And I don't. His history, if you go back far enough, is certainly he can do both. I think I've always believed that part of what happened to him over the last 3 or 4 years is just that excess baggage of it always. That Kentucky fan base is like a boat anchor around your leg. And I'm not saying Arkansas's fans are not that way to a certain extent, but it's not as bad. And so I think at least for a year or two, he's going to have less pressure and the job will be more fun. And he sort of indicated when he took this job, it might be a 3 or 4 year job. So I told somebody today the best thing he can do, other than maybe get to a Final Four or win a national championship, the best thing he can do while he's here is get this program in a position to where when he leaves, they can go out and hire another top-level coach, somebody, that everybody wants. And if he can do that, then the whole thing has been really worth it.
Hey, Mike, with this March Madness tournament, all the number 1 seeds make the Final Four. College basketball, is it in a good spot right now? And who do you got the favorite? Is it still Duke, Florida as your 2 favorites?
Well, it's interesting because there have been fewer upsets, and a lot of people feel like the portal is the reason for that. I made the point that 7 of the SEC teams made up the Sweet 16. Then you had 4 of the Elite 8. Now you're going to have 2 in the Final Four, and you're guaranteed a team in the national championship game. And this is, from what a lot of people say, is the best conference in the history of college basketball. So what happens in the championship game? And I mean, the way I look at it, I don't see an SEC team winning at all. I think both Duke and Houston are better than what I'm seeing, out of the SEC right now. Could be wrong, but boy, those 2 teams are really good. And I think my belief now is that Duke will probably get into the championship game and win it all. I originally picked Florida. I think it may be Ole Miss that gets there, and then I think Ole Miss probably loses to Duke.
There was a couple years ago, it was Wisconsin and Duke that were in the Final Four, and it was just a bloodbath. I mean, they were just beating each other up, and then you get to the actual championship game, then it's a little bit of a letdown. I wonder, because I agree with you, Mike, that I think Houston and Duke are clearly the top 2 best teams in the country, but when they beat each other up, and then let's say you have to play Florida, Florida can jump on you in a hurry. They can score with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, under that scenario, that might be the one way it happens. And the SEC is fortunate in that respect, maybe, to let those 2 teams play each other. Because I think they are the best 2 teams, and then what will end up happening is people will claim, if say Duke wins it all, they'll say, well, that was the real national championship game. But, yeah, that's a possibility if they just beat each other up and the team that emerges is exhausted. Duke is so good. I don't like those guys. I don't want to see them win, but I'm not blind. I know what I've seen. And again, this has been a very predictable NCAA tournament. There hasn't been a lot of. The only thing I would say is that both Arkansas and Texas Tech were a lot better than people thought, and both of them came really close because we saw how Texas Tech ended up blowing that game against Florida the way Arkansas blew it against them. Both teams did the same thing, and I think both, under the right circumstances, with a break here and there, could have ended up in the Final Four.
This SEC basketball league right now feels to me like it could be a self-perpetuating thing where you continue to be at this level or maybe even better in the next few years. That's what's happened with baseball. Football's there too. It's a new world now where SEC basketball, this has been the deepest league in terms. What you guys are saying, where maybe the 2 best teams that are playing are not SEC. Can this self-perpetuate because of the portal,
Sure.
because of the coaches that are there and the money?
Yeah, sure. Now, look, things are going to change, and people are just now waking up to this. With this revenue sharing, you're not going to have as much portal activity. I don't know how much it will drop, but basically teams are operating under a salary cap. They'll still be NIL, but it will be reduced. So I just don't think you'll have the total number of transfers that you've had. and we will go back to developing players more, which I like anyway. But how that will affect the league, I'm not sure. But I think the SEC is just trying to dominate everything. I mean, I start thinking how crazy it is in the men's game in baseball. I mean, all four of the teams in the first place needed sweeps to stay there, and you look at the rankings, but then you start talking about softball. Do you realize in softball, the top 5 teams in the country are all out of the SEC? Somebody called me and complained about the women's softball team, said they're only in 8th place. They're 14th in the country, but in 8th place. And the 7 teams in front of them are all ranked ahead of them nationally. That's how tough the league is in softball. It's tough in baseball. We know how good it is in football, and now it's good in basketball. I mean, good grief. This is nuts.
Mike, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on. Thanks a lot. Again, next week if you got the time.
See you guys.
Always appreciate his time. It's Mike Irwin with us here from Pig Trail Nation on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Yeah, SEC kind of is dominant in all the other sports. They haven't won the national title in football for a couple years, but it'll be interesting to see when the draft happens in less than a month, which league has the most players coming out of it. Usually every year it's SEC.
Yeah, because what was it, 06, 07, or 07, 08, Florida went back-to-back, and Kentucky's won a national championship since then. But there's only 3 national titles in the last 20 years for SEC basketball. So we have some catching up to do.
Let's break, wrap up the first hour right after this.
This is halftime.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago ya el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese nalga. Es que para la nena no
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thank Farmer and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Oh, darling, please believe me. I'll never do you no harm. Believe I tell you, I'll never do you no harm.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
So, Matt Jones, I got the official favorite word of halftime on the baseball broadcast this past weekend. Created a rule: we will not be saying the word moist during the baseball broadcast. We're just having some fun with this. The word would be wettish. I didn't go back and find where I said it, but I said it because it's all artificial turf at Vanderbilt's ballpark. No dirt, no grass, no clay, nothing. Just plastic or whatever else is made of. So any water that falls on it, yeah, it drains well, but there's still going to be just a little bit of wettishness on the top of each blade of plastic. So, Matt, I'm proud.
Nicely done. Well done. It sounds like it was a victory all around. Baseball Hogs 3-0. Dropping some knowledge, getting your grammar right. I mean, that's moisture laden. That doesn't sound as good. You're right.
We can say it on halftime. We just can't say it on the baseball broadcast. We've got our own little thing going for that there. But what other? So there are other parks that we're playing at that I think are all artificial turf. We go to Georgia in a couple weeks. Georgia's redone their playing surface. I don't know if it's a full artificial surface, but I'm going to guarantee you, because they have a pitching coach that's their head coach, Wes Johnson, former Arkansas pitching coach, they're going to have a real pitcher's mound. I would just expect that would be the case, not the goofy stuff with plastic on it that can be very wettish every once in a while. Go to LSU's got a regular field and everything, so that'll be the only time maybe to worry about that word as far as that substance is referred to, but we'll figure out some other ones. Yeah, it was about as successful a weekend as you could get. I didn't even notice the Whistler until the 7th or 8th inning of Friday. They got shut out, so he had nothing to whistle about. This literally was my favorite sweep of all time. I've done baseball games. It's minor leagues and college ball now for about 27 years. This is my favorite sweep of any opponent of all time. I don't know if we play him again next year, but I hope we do. It'll be a bomb. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Dr. Charlie Liggett will be joining us in 20 minutes for 3 Up, 3 Down. Otherwise, we are wide open. Also into some basketball roster construction and some new baseball equipment. It looks not quite like a bowling ball, not quite like a bowling pin, but not too different from it. We're right back.
Hey, it's James Teague with the Teague Law Firm. I'm excited to be back on Halftime with Phil and Matt Fridays at 12:15.
I actually tried to go to the third base side at pro ball because I was trying to throw, at a little better angle, kind of coming from behind the right-handers. And the first pitch, I'll never forget it. I just reared back through it as hard as I could, and it hit the batter in the hand.
Come check out our new office at 4201 West New Hope Road in Rogers. The Teague Law Firm. If we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a cool day. A high low 60s across the north, near 70 south. Clear skies, low to mid 40s overnight. And then tomorrow, sunny skies. High temperatures warming up in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard. Your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The worldwide leader in sports. ESPN 95.3.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to halftime. It's our second hour here. We're gonna teach our friend, our producer, our hype man, Seaburger Movie McMahon.
C-card catalog.
He's going to learn ways to do some sports research, because he had an interesting question. We'd had a text in, so it was a double sweep weekend, Matt. Baseball swept on the road at Vanderbilt. Softball swept Kentucky. So it's nice when the bat and ball sports all sweep. And we got somebody texting in about that. So then Sea Softball over there in the studios asked a question. Go ahead, ask your question, Christian.
The last time Oklahoma softball lost a series.
This is the
conference series, yeah.
Yeah, conference.
This is a four-time in a row national champion, right? They just lost 2 out of 3 to Tennessee. He asked me, when's the last time? I have no clue. Now, I can do the research on this, but we're going to do a little halftime homework with this since we didn't do any last week. And doing your own research is not asking Chat GPT or Meta, AI, or Google to do the work for you. You just have to go dig into the publicly available files, and you can find the information yourself. That's called, I don't know if it's called studying or what, Matt, but it is doing your own research.
You have to cite at least two sources. I don't know what's happened with today's youth. It's like nobody cites where we find it anymore.
That's right. There are no Spark notes for this. There are no what were our old notes called? Cliff's notes. There are no Cliff's notes for this. You got to do your own research. People that usually say they do their own research, their research is just a Google search. That's not research. So I'm sending you a link to the Oklahoma softball page on the publicly available NCAA.org website. This is where I do all my sports research for Razorback games.
2015.
I just emailed it to Christian. He's going to give us the answer by the end of the show.
I think, Phil, you brought this up last week about the softball lady that was throwing some heat. The Tennessee had a girl that threw it like 108, like whatever it computes to, and so that might have been part of the reason. I guess this would be a question for Bubba. But you too as well, Phil. So let's say you're getting in the batter's box and you're a college kid and you're trying to work your craft. Do you turn it all the way up to 11? Do you turn that where it's going to actually go faster than anything? Because coaches try to make practice harder. Then you get to a game, it's easier. Do you think these ladies have seen a ball coming that fast?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You can dial up a pitching machine to mimic that, and you have to do this. It's interesting. I was standing next to Dave Van Horn after the interview yesterday for pregame, and he's watching Vanderbilt take batting practice, and Vandy's pitcher for BP was throwing on flat ground, and they did that the entire series. But when you look at the pitchers, the way that the starters throw, Gabe Gackle throws more flat. He's more of a drop and drive kind of a pitcher. He doesn't throw straight over the top. So he's a kind of guy where you might want your batting practice pitcher pitching on flat ground instead of the mound. Zach Root and Landon Beidelshees come over the top. These are guys that are throwing up above you. So if you got a batting practice pitcher throwing on flat ground, you're not getting anything close to the angle that you're going to see from the pitcher. So you do want to try to, you're not going to mimic the same pitcher, but you want to mimic some of the things that make that pitcher who he is. Vandy didn't do that this last weekend. I've seen Arkansas change where they have the batting practice pitcher stand. It's just, to your point there, Matt, it's the same idea as, hologram football practice, trying to figure out, okay, this guy's coming over the middle for me. What can you do to mimic this tank literally coming in to try to take your head off? You can't. Just got to try to be ready for it, I guess.
And some of that's going, you're seeing a lot of the talking hairdos, and we talked a little bit about this, about Arkansas's length, and I guess it was your boy Nate Oates who said, how do you prepare for Duke? You only get 24 hours, and I guess it's kind of like just an excuse or whatever, but you can't coach against that length. All of a sudden you get out there and it's like, well, we haven't practiced against guys this big, this tall, this fast, and so it's kind of a shock to you, and it takes you a little bit to get going.
Can we get like a 7-foot mannequin and just have one of the student managers walking him around the floor?
So we all, I know Dr. Charlie remember this, but so Scotty Thurman, shot heard around the world, right? What's in the Sports Illustrated the week before? It's Coach Anderson holding the broom up because he's working on getting his arc up. They're working on it. So you can work on it, and the Hogs used to. Nolan did.
Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Got 3 guys lined up. Ryan in Hot Springs is up first. Good afternoon, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm going to be even better this afternoon when I go fish for some crappie. But first, I want to say this. I don't know if anybody's told y'all this, but y'all got one of the best intros coming back from commercial break, bar none in the state. Just awesome. Just a little montage y'all got put together. But the reason why I called is nobody seems to give me an answer because I was having to follow the show the game yesterday through Twitter because I was at work. And what was so controversial? I feel like so what I gathered from the tweets, there was some sort of call that the umps might have got wrong or something.
I think there was a review on a play at second base that I think they missed, and I think it was more because the umpire was in bad position to see the tag at second base. Nolan Souza had his back to the umpire. I don't think the umpire saw the tag, and to me, this is a weakness of review. So often it's going to go to the original call. And it went to the original call. I thought the guy was out, but They went with the original. That's the only one I remember yesterday, Ryan.
Right. Well, I was just curious about that, and I just want you to know, man, I still love listening to you, your calls and stuff, and I'll be listening to you tomorrow night while I'm fishing. And
Yeah,
we're really looking forward to it. And I just wanted to wish y'all well and hope y'all had a good weekend, and go Hogs.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate that. Hopefully my voice will help you catch some crappies. Next up is, speaking of fishing, the tuna. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
I'm really well. Hang on just a second. No, give me a Gatorade. Give me a Gatorade. Thank you.
This is my favorite part of every
What
show.
flavor? Blue.
What are we drinking?
They know. The girls know when they go buy me a Gatorade. It's one of them blue Gatorades.
That's right.
And my backup is usually like red,
Well,
orange.
the next time you call us up and you're there, we have to hear you ask for the usual. You just the usual, then they'll hand it to you. Okay.
Well, they just kind of looked at me like, what do you want? And I just kind of had to yell it out at them real quick with the crack of my window. Anyway,
yeah, go for it.
How you guys doing? Phil? That was I was thinking I was going to bring up something, Bubba. This is a callback from what he said the other day. He had brought up like, okay, you know how we struggled against Missouri State, obviously last week, and then you go sweep Vanderbilt on the road. My question to you is, he kind of said, well, if Arkansas goes and wins 2 out of 3 on the road at Vanderbilt, nobody will care. I kind of agree with him. I think baseball is kind of that way too. It kind of can be a sport where it's kind of day to day, where it's, you're only as good as your next game. I guess any sport's kind of like that, but for them to go on the road and sweep a team that they've had trouble beating there for years. I mean, I guess since 1994 or whatever it was, first time they ever swept them, and the first time they won a series there since 2010, right? Am I correct on that?
They hadn't won a series in Nashville in 15 years. The last sweep there was 31 years ago.
Yeah, 94 on the sweep, and then 2010 on the series win. What is it about their ballpark? Is that darn whistleblower? I mean, they got good teams. I'm not knocking.
That's
them.
the first thing, Charlie. That's the first thing. You're not playing the ballpark. It's the team. They've been better before. They're not as good. Arkansas is better, and I do think this version of Arkansas. Who knows? Maybe they'd have beaten the 2015 team that had won a national title before, that has 2 guys that are in the majors right now in starting rotations, and Dansby Swanson at shortstop, amongst others. And the 2019 team with Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, that's 2/5 of the Texas Rangers starting rotation right now. Those were really, really talented teams. And the ballpark is goofy.
Yeah, with the whistleblower and everything else. Yeah, man, I thought, Vanderbilt was a good team, but, I'm not counting Vanderbilt out, yet. It's kind of weird this year with the SEC, the way some of these teams are performing, that we all thought were going to be good. You got the top heavy right now. Arkansas being 8-1 in conferences, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't really care what people say. I mean, I know they'll be challenged at some point, but, they're doing really well right now. And you got different guys up and down this lineup, Phil. You see it. When a couple guys may struggle or have an off day, they got so many different guys right now, batting right, batting left. And I don't know if I've seen a more talented, and it's early. I don't want to jinx them, but the way they're batting, I haven't seen, as much of a talented lineup as this. Maybe since what year did you say? 21 or 2019? I couldn't remember.
2018 and 2019, those were the best lineups that I've seen here at Arkansas. This one, I think, lines up just with them. But it's March 31st, and there's a lot of baseball left to play, and they will be playing better teams. There is an incredible separation between the top and the bottom of the SEC in baseball. 4 8-1 teams, 4 1-8 teams. And the team you're playing this next weekend is 0-9 in Missouri. So there's a huge separation. It's just wild to see. Florida's 1-8. They're banged up. Mississippi State is 1-8, and A&M is 1-8, and they're banged up too. And they're also just not very good. It's kind of wild. Big Keith is up next. He'll take us into the commercial. Good afternoon, Big Keith. How are you?
Big Keith up in the house.
Yes, you are.
How you guys doing today?
Good, thank you.
Hey, first of all, let me say, I seen that play where the guy was still in second and he was safe. He should have been out, but the guy that was doing the tag didn't do a very good tag because he got the ball before the guy even got there. So, but that's another thing. But I agree with you though. This is probably one of my proudest sweeps ever on baseball. I mean, because Vanderbilt was so good in baseball for so long, But I was listening to you on the radio on Sunday, and I like how you said, if something you said to something like, if Vanderbilt can't get no better batting, then there's no way they're going to win any games. And then right after that, they started taking the lead on Sunday. And I was like, oh man, he jinxed us.
Well, I didn't, because then Arkansas took the lead. They had one home. Here's why Arkansas won the series. The Hogs hit 8 home runs, and the Commodores hit 1. You in this league, and look, last year's team had more power than people are giving it credit for. They weren't as powerful as this year's team. You have to be able to hit for power in Major League Baseball and in college baseball. Vanderbilt doesn't have any power, and they also have a freshman hitting in the middle of their batting order. And I'm going to tell you, there aren't going to be a lot of teams that have a freshman batting in the middle of their batting order that are going to do very well in SEC baseball right now. All right, we need a break here because I know we got Dr. Charlie Liggett from 3 Up, 3 Down in just a moment. But I want to welcome Swift's Jewelry onto halftime, downtown Fayetteville. Whether you're popping the question, celebrating an anniversary, or just treating yourself, you know where they are, right next to Hugo's, 27 North Block Avenue. Swift's Jewelry, trusted name since 1956, known for stunning custom designs, and they'll specialize your wedding and engagement rings that are as unique as your love story. Maybe you need a watch repair. They've got you covered with expert service. Keeps you ticking on time. That's at Swift's Jewelry. Dazzling selection right there on the Fayetteville Square, or visit swiftsjewelry.com. Have the entire collection right there online. It's Swift's Jewelry, where timeless elegance and exceptional craftsmanship come together in the heart of Fayetteville. 3 Up, 3 Down. Dr. Charlie Liggett, River Valley Smile Center, right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Brady Slavens.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
hacer maldades. Vuelve yo te traje. Pago ya el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Yo me aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la vida.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for wanted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
It's not just the flavors that keep you coming back to the House of Webster. It's a tradition. For over 90 years, our family-owned company has been making jams, jellies, salsas, barbecue sauce, and many more treats that make your meals come to life. From the first jar to the last spoonful, you'll taste the quality in every bite. Please visit our gift shop located at 1013 North 2nd Street, downtown Rogers. We want you to sample the great taste of life. Visit us at houseofwebster.com. House of Webster. See you soon.
Delicious jams and jellies.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
You see through my window pane, remind me that it's time to move my life again. November sun is felt by none, a chilly breeze has blown my thoughts to what's to come. Go on, coffee, smiling sleep, a bowl for the cat, a bowl for the dog, a bowl for me. To a mistake, but I locked my car. An honest tune with a lingering lead has taken me this far.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Boy, it's really just a gorgeous day. This would be a day I'd be listening to Widespread Panic no matter what. But the sun's shining so brightly, coming off a double weekend sweep, Dr. Charlie Liggett in there. Feels like a good Widespread Panic day, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. So let's get into it. 3 up, 3 down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
It's funny, too, Dr. Liggett. I didn't play Widespread Panic on the drive to Nashville with my kids, but I did play some Fish. For some reason, I got back into listening to it last week. It was still in the car. It was still on the phone when we got in the car to start driving, and it was early Fish. You know, just very slow, maybe dull, and even boring Fish that you have to be in a certain state of mind to appreciate. The kids were not into it, so I don't know. Maybe they'll be into Panic at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Not the time to worry about it. My first up for the weekend will be thank you very much to Tyler Tucker of the St. Louis Blues and Andreas Englund of the Nashville Predators. I didn't bring this up on Friday, but Thursday night I took the kids to their first ever NHL game at Bridgestone Arena. We had to watch the first half of the Sweet 16 game on our phone because we had the hockey game right there in front of us live. It was exhilarating. Just going to a live NHL game is always going to be fun. But I want to thank Tyler Tucker and Andreas Englund for helping introduce my kids to the NHL properly with a fist fight that lasted 45 seconds, if that, maybe 30, 45 seconds, might have been 4 or 5 punches, no blood on the ice. It actually wasn't anything really to write home about. It wasn't even a spectacular fight or anything, but it was a fight at their first NHL game, which I saw at my first NHL game, and it just feels like a rite of passage. So congratulations and very well done, Tyler Tucker, Andreas England. It's the only time I will ever thank anybody for fighting in front of my kids. First down goes to Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. This feels like you got to try to do this. They've played 4 games. He has 18 plate appearances. He's taken 2 walks. He has no hits. He has struck out 12 of 16 at-bats, including in his first, he actually made contact a little bit more yesterday. He struck out 10 times in his first 12 at-bats this year, which only means, Matt, it's going to be an incredible season for Rafael Devers because it can't get any worse than what he's doing right now. Never heard of a worse start.
Wasn't he third baseman like a rookie? He was a young prodigy the last time Boston Red Sox won a World Series. Like he was coming. Yeah, I remember him being a G. It seems like maybe he's kind of fallen off a little bit. So
he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. He's a professional. He's a paid athlete. My first up goes to the 4 teams that made the Final Four. I mean, you hang a banner. Auburn, Florida, Duke, Houston. Congrats. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So kudos to those 4 for making a Final Four. Arkansas, we're working on it. I think we can get a Final Four in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And then my first down, soccer's back. Last international break was the last 10 days. There was no soccer games on. I don't know what's going on, but it starts back tomorrow. And there's about 9 games left in the season, but soccer is back.
Did everybody hear it didn't sound like joy, but it almost sounded like quiet desperation, Matt.
Desperation doesn't look good on you, and neither does your virtue.
All right, Dr. Liggett, what you got?
My first up, baseball. What a great weekend. Even though you'll hear people say Vandy's down this year, and they probably are, it's still the best pitching staff we faced. They got some guys who can throw, and we did what we needed to do. The first sweep, like you guys talked about, since 2004. The starters looked really good. Root was awesome. Gackle really has his command back and is looking good. And Bottle Cheese, even though if you look at the numbers, it doesn't look super impressive. There was really only one hard hit ball off him, and that was the 3-run homer. Everything else, he pretty much shut him down. Jimenez was tough again. Bybee came in and really looked elite. That was the best outing of his career. Not giving up any runs at 4 innings, a walk, 7 Ks. Man, I mean, you can't be any happier with this lineup. I mean, you never feel like you're out of the game, and I mean, 7, 8, 9 is showing that we don't have any holes in this lineup. So it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your first down?
First down is it was during the UNC Boston College game, and Aiden, I think his last name is Hawk, had a no-hitter into the 7th. UNC's up 10-0, so it's set up for a run rule after 7. He gets the first 2 out and then walks the batter. So he's still got the no-hitter going, needs an out to complete the 7-inning no-hitter. The next batter hits a line drive that hits the runner. Game over.
Oh, no.
So that counts as a hit.
That's a hit.
So he loses his no-hitter. It's got to be the worst way to lose a no-hitter.
Oh my gosh. I'd never heard of that before. That's terrible, Charlie.
I've never seen it happen or heard of it either.
The game ends on the only hit that he allowed for the entire game.
Yeah, and the wind's still 10-0, so there's still
Oh man! All right, I'll move on here. I had a second up to the whole Razorback baseball team just for securing my favorite sweep of all time. I have my reasons on Vandy baseball. They literally do ring around the posy in left field during inning. Come on, people that let them have fun. Let them have fun. You look like a bunch of goofballs. You look like a bunch of schoolgirls that are about to play duck, duck, goose. I actually wonder to myself, who wants to go do that? Does Dansby Swanson, who's an all-star shortstop, look back on playing ring around the posy in the outfield during an inning break as something he's very proud of? They can be proud of everything else they do. That's a team, that's a program that plays hard. I respect Tim Corbin. I respect their national championships. But come on. It's just tiresome. And the stomping on the plate and the fake energy and everybody racing to the third base line to congratulate a pitcher that just gave up 5 runs in an inning. It's just I can thank the Vanderbilt baseball team for allowing me to teach my daughter, who's 15, what the term eyewash means. Eyewash is a great baseball term. It's hustle for the sake of letting everybody in the stands know that you're hustling. It's like when Ole Miss gathers in front of their dugout, puts their arms all around each other to watch their pregame video, just so everybody in the stands can see how much they love being teammates with each other. You can do the same thing in the dugout. It's all eyewash. And I said, just watch their movements. Watch what they do. That's the definition of eyewash. And it's fake. And she picked up on it. Thank you very much.
Little fugazi.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, it is. It is. It's about as fugazi as it gets,
as a player, though, you don't like it either, Phil. Like, you can see that it comes off not genuine. It comes off not authentic. It's not something like nobody. It's not. Yeah, I get you.
Now, they've always been really good, so they could always throw that at you. And they've also always had an unnatural advantage over every team in the SEC because they could fund an entire team through 100% scholarships, need-based. They live in a different world now. Vanderbilt will never have another advantage like that in the SEC, and they're going to just be a regular SEC program for the rest of time. That's how it comes across right now. All right, second down goes to Kentucky baseball. This has nothing to do with how they play or winning. You know, they won a game yesterday against A&M to win a series, but they had a travel curfew yesterday. I don't remember the time it was, but they had a travel curfew in College Station because Kentucky is too cheap to charter flights. And they play to that on the road, which would be an unnatural advantage at that point because they did the slowdown tactic with like a minute or 2 or 5 or 10 or 15 minutes leading up to 4:30 when you could not start another inning. And they've got the pitcher taking all 20 seconds. They're faking that their pitch comm doesn't work. They're having mound visits. They're having batter meetings, everything to not actually play baseball in case they actually give up a few. They led 10-5, but it's an unnatural way to win. When you're too cheap to buy charter flights, you should not be able to slow a game down like that. So Kentucky baseball, they're not what they were last year either, but they're also a poverty program for baseball.
The Bluegrass State, whenever the football team went to turf, you knew it was downhill for Kentucky baseball. So there we go. My second up goes to Min Woo Lee. So a couple weeks ago, he was on the first page of the leaderboard. He's a professional golfer. Finally breaks through, breaks the seal, wins his first one this last weekend. It takes a while. Once you get that first one, then it can happen. So talented kid, held off Scotty Scheffler, but got his first win on the PGA Tour. I think he got 1.7 for a win. Not a bad 4 days at the office. And then my second down is A-Rod going to the Steelers. What I heard something where they're saying that he's holding the Steelers hostage, and it's like the Steelers make the playoffs every year. Does A-Rod retire, or does he suit up for number 8 for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
And it's the beginning of a beautiful relationship when you're making the team wait on you. It's going to be, if he does, I think it's going to happen. It'll be a 1-year stopgap thing. It's going to be interesting.
Well, with the Jets, he didn't even go to OTAs or spring ball. It's like I kind of need you here for OTAs and spring ball, and I kind of need you going. This is your last 6 months you're ever going to play. Come on, we can go to Egypt next year.
Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh guy, doesn't quite fit.
Pittsburgh guy.
Go ahead, Dr. Liggett.
My second up, UCA sweeps Eastern Kentucky. Zeb Allen from Fort Smith Southside goes 3 for 5 on Sunday with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And my third down, I don't know if this is an up or a down, but second. I found this on a Vandy message board from Friday, and it was Lieutenant Joe Bookman. I'll read you what he wrote. Don't know if you were there, but their bats are not legal. The ball trampolines off their bats. Even foul balls are different.
Who, Vandy?
This is talking about Arkansas against Vandy. Something's definitely up. Kozel never hit the ball like that last year. So
yeah, because players never improve from one year to the next, do they?
Right. I love that.
That's funny. That's funny. Look, all the bats are tested. There's nothing with the bats in terms of being legal. There may actually be something going on in terms of the bats are ahead of the pitchers now. The amount of home runs that are being hit and the exit velocities that we're seeing, there are folks who are a little worried in terms of it being a little dangerous. There may have to be a tweak in the equipment at some point. The balls are really hard. The bats are kind of getting closer back to the lightning bats. There may be a tweak at some point. It's not that the Hogs have something with their bats that nobody else does. It's just that the bats in college baseball, the technology has gotten ahead of the pitchers.
I just think it's funny that's what they jump to.
Of course.
They're so good that obviously must be the bats.
Of course. I got a third up, and it is to Olivia Couch, who you may know as DQ on Ruskin and Zach. She sent a lovely email to everybody today at ESPN Arkansas thanking us. I didn't do anything for her, but I did interact with her a few times. A lovely young lady that is going to have an outstanding career in whatever it is that she's moving on to do. She's been, I mean, she was literally just a button pusher at first, and then she's, grown into like a partial star of the show with those guys. And she's just, she's a terrific young lady and very smart. And I always enjoyed the moments that I spent around her. So good luck, Olivia. DQ. They're going to call you DQ later on in life. And I know today's her last day on the show, so it ain't going to be the easiest saying goodbye to people on the air live like that. Third down is to anybody booking rooms in Omaha yet. It's March 31st. There's a lot of baseball left. Book your rooms for Hoover. Don't even start looking at the hotel rates in Omaha because they'll scare you if you look for them during the dates. They're like really scary rates. Just don't book your rooms yet. That has nothing to do with the quality of the team. It's just because it's March 31st. So there you go.
My third up goes to Guy Ritchie has a new series called Mobland coming out. You got Pierce Brosnan, Tom Hardy going to be in it. So that's anything Guy Ritchie. Love it. And then my third down would be Robert De Niro. Oh, Bobby De Niro had a movie come out, Alto Nights. And it's like you don't even hear, there wasn't any pub going out because there was a time, Phil, that if Bobby De Niro was in a movie, I'd go watch it. You'd celebrate his entire catalog, and now there's a movie coming out, and you don't even know that he's doing it.
I saw the show that he plays the former American president. I forget what it was called, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It's just kind of odd to see him in something that was a series because I don't ever remember him doing that. Dr. Liggett, take us home.
All right. Third up, Camp Kozel over the weekend scored more runs than Vandy. Also hit 3 home runs against his.
That's a good one.
Isn't that cool? Against his old team. You never know how somebody's going to play against when you're going against your old team. If you're going to do what T-Mark did against us, or you're going to do what Kozel did. So good to see him swing it well this weekend. And my last down is, what do you guys think's worse? If you had to sit next to the Whistler in Omaha, or you had to sit next to some Mississippi State fans with cowbell?
I'll take the Mississippi State fans because they're going to feed you.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so here's part of this. The Mississippi State fans individually don't think that it's about them. They're not trying to be a star of the show. The Mississippi State fans with a cowbell are just following through with the tradition. The Whistler thinks he's part of the show. Yeah. He's not just whistling. He's standing up in the middle of a stairwell with his foot on a railing, whistling and screaming. And look, the guy's got pride in Vanderbilt baseball. I was trying to take that away from him. It's just he does think he's part of the show. He acts like he's part of the show.
I met the guy that came to Baum a couple of years back, and he was really cool. I've heard the other guy isn't the same.
The other guy just sounds like a bird. This guy sounds like, well, it's worse than nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, it's teeth on a chalkboard. Oh, that hurt just thinking about. Yuck. 3 Up, 3 Down, always presented by Dr. Charlie Liggett and River Valley Smile Center. Matt is a patient of Dr. Liggett. You can be too.
Yeah, River Valley Smile Center, man. Get down there and check it out. Friendly service, and they'll take care of you. Once you're there, you become family.
Dr. Liggett, what you guys got going on these days at River Valley Smile Center?
Well, Dr. Johnson and I are back in town, so we got all 3 doctors back at the office ready to go. If you need anything, let us know. Sedation dentistry, really big thing. There aren't very many people around. If you want to be asleep to get your dentistry done, give us a shout.
You can call them at 479-646-0706, rivervalleysmiles.com. Comprehensive dental facility offering children's dentistry, braces, dentures, gum treatment, dental implants, oral surgery, orthodontics, root canal, and more. And you just heard Dr. Charlie talk about sedation. Doc, you can take us home here.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, your family. Go Hogs.
Stay with us. Halftime is back in just a moment.
Man, you know I'm good when I get to talk to you and Matt, Phil. That's just the way it rolls.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Halftime.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Attention Arkansas, Oklahoma gas customers. Could you benefit from payment assistance on your natural gas bill? If you have a past due balance, help us here. Through the Summit Heating Assistance Fund, qualified customers can receive up to $200 toward their natural gas bill this heating season or until funds run out. Apply today. Visit aogc.com/shaf or email shaf@unitedwayfortsmith.org for more information.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
A lot of people texting in asking about thoughts on this torpedo bat the Yankees are using. You know, the Razorbacks do not have torpedo bats, and that is not why they're hitting the way that they're hitting. I haven't watched the Yankee game yet, but I have seen what this bat looks like. It looks almost like it's got the same kind of curvature at the top of the barrel that those old Michelob bottles used to have. Has anybody found those old Michelob bottles? They were uniquely shaped.
That's what Samuel L. Jackson gets in Pulp Fiction. Yeah. That's the bottle you're talking about. Absolutely.
It's a sexy bottle of beer. I guess that's
little brown sugar.
Not really a sexy bat or anything. It's just it looks different. Bigger barrel down by the trademark. You know, I don't think this is necessarily a new thought.
Maybe it's a Biff Tannen baseball bat. You know, Back to the Future. That one thing gets kind of exponentially bigger.
Yeah. Now we just need a hovercraft that can actually work on water. It does. John says it looks like an upside down bowling pin. It's got a little bit of that quality to it, just a very lengthy bowling pin. I mean, these are within the rules. This is within the rules as long as the barrel is no more than 2.61 inches thick at the thickest part, and no more than 42 inches in length. Then it's legal. It's just you wonder if there's a way for a pitching staff or pitchers to combat this. What they're trying to do is just put the sweet spot a little bit lower, closer to the handle, just a tiny bit lower, where they call it a label or a trademark. You know, if you hit on the label or the trademark, chances are you don't hit it all that hard. Your bat may break. So you move the barrel a little more and or create a little bit more wood at that spot. It makes sense. I just wonder if there's a way to combat this. There's nothing illegal about it, as far as I know. You know, is that why the Yankees hit 9 home runs? Or is it Nestor Cortes just had too many pitches right down the middle? I don't know.
Well, it's always something, huh? It's like, well, the baseballs are too new; they're not broke in. Well, we've raised the pitcher's mound 5 inches this year. It seems like there's always something that's going on.
Well, and it's like with baseball bats in college. There's the construction of the bat that has so much to do with just the lightning quality of it. I mean, you basically some of these bats are two things that are melded together with something that kind of wobbles in between. And it feels like it's a heck of a lot different than a bat was even 20 years ago. In Major League Pro Ball, I mean, you're talking wooden bats that have changed a lot in the last 20 years. It used to be all made of ash. I think most guys use maple now or other stronger woods. And then, you know, you've seen the handles get a little bit thinner and a little thicker down by the knob, just to, you know, I guess make the weight distribution a little bit different. But this feels. This is a lot different than any other kind of, I guess, like experimentation outside of coring the middle of the bat out, throwing some cork or Super Balls in there, and then trying to make it seem like you never did anything with it. Because this is legal. That's not legal. Greg in Farmington has given us a call before we break here. Good afternoon, Greg. He's on our Lewis Automotive Hotline. What's up?
Hey, I'm glad I caught you on this because as I'm eating my morning breakfast, watching some of the national talk shows, the torpedo bats are a big topic. So I did some research, and they're approved by MLB. They meet all the regulations and guidelines. They meet all the regulation and guidelines, and they're available to every player out there. So I don't know why people are all up in arms calling for them to be banned. Well, when they're available for everybody.
Just like the tush push, too, is also available to everybody, Matt, and apparently there's some teams that want to ban that in the NFL.
As far as the Vanderbilt game, I think what some of the complaint was is there's like a time limit that the batter is supposed to engage in the pitcher, and the pitcher is supposed to engage with the batter. And so I think there was a couple of times where the Vanderbilt pitcher was kind of rushing things, and so the umpire called him on it. And I think that's because I remember hearing them mentioning that on the TV broadcast, and so I think that's what a lot of the complaints, the questionable stuff was going on with the game Thursday.
Well, the pitcher yesterday that he's referring to, Connor Fennell, I've never seen anybody work faster than that. But here, the thing is, he was trying to throw pitches within 3 seconds. Get the ball back. The next thing you see is the pitch timer 17. He's already into the windup. There's a way for batters to combat that, and that's what the Hogs did yesterday. You don't have to be in the batter's box until there's 12 seconds on the pitch timer. And then the pitcher is not allowed to throw until the batter's eyes engage the pitcher's eyes. That's for safety purposes. So you saw a lot of Arkansas batters yesterday using those 8 seconds, and then they would look into the dugout, collect their thoughts, and then engage the pitcher's eyes. And they got and look, they never really did get to Fennell. That kid looked like he can really pitch. But pitching sometimes is about upsetting batters' timing. In fact, that's all pitching is. Part of it is the speed that you'll work at, but there are ways for batters to combat that. And kudos to the Razorback coaches and hitters for doing that yesterday, because they did slow this kid down. But, Matt, I've never seen anybody work faster. It's like he had the hottest date in the world that was set for 5 o'clock, and if he was a minute late, he wasn't going to have the date.
Well, when everybody, you have a game plan and you try to stick to it, it's kind of weird when it's funky, though, when you don't see anybody else doing it. I don't know if it would be like running a 2-minute offense to start a game. It's like, well, we're just going to go stand. I get it. You're trying to get people off guard, but it seemed like almost, and I know you used the word desperation earlier, it's kind of like they knew they couldn't win, so, man, we're desperate to do whatever we can, little thing here, even if it's getting under your skin or on your nerves, because they don't really, usually when you're doing that and players, that you don't have a good enough team and you probably can't beat this team.
The Candy Boys, that's what I'll call them, at least for the remainder of the show. And we'll wrap up hour number 2 in just a moment.
Just wanted to call in and tell you guys, looking forward to Razorback baseball. You do a fantastic job, play-by-play.
This is halftime.
Hey, Ty Richardson back in my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith here with Brooklyn, one of the new gals. Y'all have got a great special on Monday, Brooklyn.
Yes, we have our $3 domestic drafts, our Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Light, Yingling, Shinerbach, Michelob Ultra, some super cold mugs, and 10 wings for $8.95.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Well, my first up is hog baseball. Parker Coyle with the immaculate inning. I read that it was 3 times more common to have a no-hitter than an immaculate inning.
I'm a patient there, and you can be too. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Neuson dealer.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the chicken chalupa Supreme and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Zach Root has been named SEC Pitcher of the Week. Well done, and an outstanding start against Vanderbilt on Friday. And he looks the part of an SEC Friday night guy. 7 2/3 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits. And for me, the biggest part of it is the 7 2/3 innings. I loved what Hagen Smith did last year for Arkansas, but one thing you didn't get was a lot of length as a Friday starting pitcher. He didn't really save relievers too often, and there were so many closer ball games, so you had to use your frontline relievers on a Friday a lot. You realize Arkansas quite often is not using their best relievers on a Friday. Part of it is because the games are not close, 9-0 this past weekend, and the other reason is because Zach Root is going deeper into games. That will pay off as this season goes along. Zach Root's fun to watch, Matt, and he's a real competitor. Nobody talks about his fastball because he throws 3 breaking pitches at different speeds and in different kind of break. Curveball, slider, cutter, all of them really good. But he pitched off his fastball against Vanderbilt, and he threw 97, which is the fastest pitch he's thrown this year. The last pitch he threw, 100th pitch, 96 miles an hour. Zach Root's a real Friday guy.
I like it, man. I think either the A&M or the Texas series, Phil, that last year I went to a couple of Mississippi games when they played Mississippi. So I'm going to try to make it to one of them. Maybe I'll get to see him pitch.
Well, it's Mizzou this weekend, an 0-9 SEC team against the 8-1 Razorbacks. Yeah, hopefully that goes according to plan. Our plan for the third hour is just you and us, no guests. And the Lewis Automotive Group hotline open at 877-377-6963. We are right back.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York High Efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs in the River Valley. With 2 big Crane, Kia, and Hyundai locations in Fort Smith, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane Cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, it'll be a cool day, a high low 60s across the north, near 70 south. Clear skies, low to mid 40s overnight, and then tomorrow, sunny skies, high temperatures warming up in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one racer back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, sports researcher extraordinaire, C Research, Kristen Johnston producing today. Has he done the research, Matt? Do we have an answer on the big question of the last series?
He's on it. He is on it.
I got it. I think.
Right.
Yeah, I got
You
it.
figured it out. Okay, go for it.
So last year they lost 2 games to Texas in a series, 1-2 and 1-2, or 2 however you want to say.
Do you like? I feel that always makes me cringe when they'll put the losing total in front of the winning total for scores. I really you got to reverse that.
Yeah, 2-1.
That's more. That's like how some people react to moist. That's how I react to the losing score first.
Yeah, they lost 2 games to Texas.
Okay, so they actually lost a series last year, huh?
Yeah,
that's easy research. Research.
Yeah, but I started like way back, and I should have started from last year and worked my way down. But that's surprising.
But you did get the email with the website there, so now you know where to go. The next time you ask a question about the last time anybody's lost to anybody, that's your site. It's publicly out there for everybody. NCAA.org. Do your research, do your own research, as I'm always told. You can use that website as well to. Now that's you don't know who's in the portal on that website. That's just a career page for anybody on any team throughout. Gosh, I think going back years, and probably 4 or 5 or 6 decades in college sports. But that is where you may end up going to look to get a look and see at career pages for players who are in the portal. Anybody that Cal signs to play at Arkansas that's had any that's played in any game at all. That would be a great place to look at it.
You think
it's going to be coming up soon. We're going to be using this site too.
You think of St. Joseph's when they had Delonte West and Jameer Nelson. You think of Dame Lillard, who went to Weber State, making run in the NCAA tournament. That's what this portal's done. Now Dame Lillard wouldn't have stayed at Weber State for 3 years. St. Joseph's wouldn't have had Jameer Nelson and Delonte West. So you're getting. That's why it's so chalky. I think that's what you're going to. You're really essentially. You're taking your definition of Cinderella has to change because you're taking all their players. It's not that's why the NCAA tournament's going to be so chalky.
Well, I'm just pointing out. Just look at Auburn. Look at Auburn, and where would they be without Janai Broome and Chad Baker-Mazzara? Baker-Mazzara is on his 3rd school, and Janai started at Morehead State.
See,
maybe he'd have transferred, but he had a SATA year, and that's always going to be in somebody's mind.
He'd already left. Here, the thing about some of these kids, and you look at Cardell Jones at Ohio State, the quarterback that when he left too early, now that they're able to make 6-7 figures, these kids are staying in school longer. You're getting a better product. They're more physical, but that doesn't mean they're built like a pterodactyl and then they're going to go play. And you got to be blessed by the hand of God to play in the NBA. It's not just that you don't just get to go play basketball and think you're that good. And so you see why these kids are staying because they can't really go. They could go overseas and make money, but why wouldn't you want to stay in the States where it's a little bit safer, I would think, than some of these other places?
But I also wonder, like some of those pterodactyls that fly somewhat under the radar, if they're able to, or they're just real, very athletic players that aren't good basketball players, and they end up playing for low level or mid major, but they develop while they're there, and they have all of those aspects. You're never going to be able to keep a player like that at that school, nor should you. Truthfully, these guys should have the freedom to go play better competition as you go on, and we know Division I is not identical. There's probably like 4 or 5 different levels of talent between the 300 and however many Division I basketball programs there are. So there's going to be more separation between mid-major, low-major, and high, meaning Power 4, and really meaning SEC at the moment, and maybe Big 12, because even though those schools at the lower levels will be able to pay, they still will not be able to pay the same that any of these teams can. They're revenue sharing, but they're also the piece of pie that they're sharing at an Ohio Valley Conference, Missouri Valley. Just take your pick. It's a lot smaller of a pizza pie than what they're dealing with in the SEC. So yeah, I think maybe it'll be a little different in terms of movement within the Power 4 conferences, but in terms of the best players staying at mid major, they're not. They're just not. I think this whole thing where all Sweet 16 teams came from the power leagues and you have 4, well, I don't know if it's the same thing, but this isn't going to be the last time that you get that it's just Power 4 leagues in the Sweet 16. And I think this will end up becoming something that is a much more, it's going to occur a lot more. It's going to occur a lot more often now because there is that separation between what you can pay at the top and what you can pay at the middle.
Well, and just look at the games in the Elite Eight and the point differential. These were a lot of blowouts when you think about it. These were kind of like, it wasn't like these were overtime, close games. These were a team took control, and you could tell early on all those games. You could tell early on, yep, team is better, and they're going to win. And that's how they kind of went true to form.
Yeah, I just wish it would have looked the exact same way for the full 40 minutes as it did for the first 30 for Arkansas and Texas Tech, though. Because they really did look like the better team.
Man,
the much better team. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett's giving us a call. He's in Greenwood. Hey, Brett, what's going on?
Hey, guys. I got a cool story about the Eloy brothers.
Sure, go for it.
So I was fortunate enough to go to Maui last week, and there is a burger place right across from Baldwin High School called
Big Kahuna Burger?
No, they have the double up, but it's called Velzyland, and Kyle is the owner. And I, being, I guess, the dork that I am, I went to Baldwin High School out in front of it, where they put, by the stadium, and took a picture in my Razorback Aloha shirt with my cap on. And then I went to Ululani's, which is a great place that you go get one of the shave ice. And connected to it is this Velzyland Burgers. Well, Kyle, the owner, saw my Razorback shirt, and I got a woo pig out of it, and got to talking to him. And he said, he said, Kahil and he would love our burgers. And he said, this was on last Sunday, and he said their dad is up there now watching some games, and he's supposed to bring me back a Razorback hat. And so we talked. He was super nice. Went back Tuesday. I was back over in that area, and he had his Razorback baseball hat on, and we just talked for a while. And he said if they make it to Omaha, he said I'm going to Omaha to watch them play. And I said, how many times do you get Arkansas folks in here? He said, not a lot, really. And so I just thought it was cool that those two boys coming from that high school playing for us. And you got a guy that's supporting the Hogs, may have never heard of them before, really. He said he went to Creighton for college, and, I brought up Dane Altman. And but anyway, I just thought it was cool that those right across from their high school is a really good burger place, and the guy's a big Razorback fan.
What's the name of the burger place again, Brett?
Velzyland, Velzyland. Velzyland, and the double up is what you want to get. It's a smash burger, lots of cheese and 2 smash patties. But he's good friends with their dad, and he said, he said that their dad was supposed to be bringing him a hat, and I just happened to be back in Waikalulu, and he was there. He had the hat on, and so sports bringing people together and stuff was kind of cool.
And burgers.
And Brett's exactly right. Very well, Brett. Thanks a lot for calling here. I feel like Michael Scott trying to hold in the That's What She Said, Matt. Velzy Burger.
Well, I thought it was like Gelderland off like Peyton's of Nobility.
I hear they make a tasty burger. I couldn't hold it in any longer.
My girlfriend's a vegetarian, so pretty much makes me a vegetarian.
Do they sell Sprite there? Oh, of course they do. The Eloys are terrific. Big Poi and Little Poi. Vahiva made another play of the year. He made another play of the year. It was I think it was Saturday's game. Yeah. Saturday's game leading off the 9th inning, a game where Vanderbilt had the leadoff batter reach base 4 times and scored him 4 times. Tie game, top of the 9th, leadoff batter deep into the hole at short, and Vahiva shows why he's a shortstop at the next level. Range, athleticism, arm strength, and accuracy all in one play. It's only the 3rd play of the year he's made, and it was incredible. And that guy's a great shortstop. He's gotten better, and he is a real shortstop. I know I've just been preaching this for like a month. There aren't a lot of shortstops in the country that would have made that play. They wouldn't have gotten to the ball. They wouldn't have been able to throw it with the jump, and it wouldn't have been as accurate as that was. That was a simply amazing play. And yes, he can hit too. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Get over to lurenet.com. You're making plans for getting outside and fishing now. Heck, Ryan was telling me he's going to be on the text line. He's going to be listening to tomorrow's broadcast while he's crappie fishing. So get over to Pradco. Get over to lurenet.com. Pardon me. Get over to lurenet.com because they've got all the brands that you're looking for. Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. Also exclusive deals and baits that you're not going to find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Free shipping at lurenet.com for all U.S. orders over $35. So treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures at lurenet.com today. And we're back with halftime after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
3 on the way, and it's good. It's over. Denver goes over. The #1 team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the floor at Budweiser Arena. They are rushing the floor at Budweiser Arena.
Hey, don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Pues yo te traje. Pago allá el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese en el. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la tía.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching.
50 Cop CDL Academy.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Golden as I open my eyes, focus, hoping take me back to life. I know you were way too bright for me. Hopeless, broken, so you wait for me in the sky.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Brett, who had just called us, just texted in a photo of Velzyland. Velzyland Burger. It's got the old Coca-Cola sign there. It's got this just looks like a mom and pop burger shop. It's got the same menu where you got to stick each letter into the slots individually, and a happy looking burger chef there with a Razorback baseball cap. It's a nice looking photo. Looks like I don't see the burger though, Brett. So if it's called Velzyland, it makes me feel like you should be putting Velveeta on that burger, which works. Velveeta's a good cheese for anything.
Those onion Maui sweet onion buns that they use though, that's got to, I mean, just a little bit different than your burger over there.
You gonna put some Spam on your burger too?
Well, you got to have something to throw at somebody.
It's actually it's probably a good reason for bringing Spam with you. Tomorrow is a really big day for figuring out what basketball is going to look like next year because Nate Ament announces his commitment tomorrow. He's the 6'9" kid from that's playing at Highland School in Virginia. Just reading Kevin McPherson's tweet about it. So it's at the All-American scrimmage, the McDonald's All-American scrimmage. Paul Biancardi thinks that it's Arkansas and Duke as the front runners. It's just like I think Arkansas and Duke were front runners for the Boozer twins, and they chose Duke. That's like
good thing or bad thing that the Boozer twins are already committed to Duke. Do you think that makes, I wonder their relationship, because I know good players want to play with good players, but there's no, I mean, do you see a Fab Five thing ever happen again where there's going to be 5 fabulous freshmen that can just crush everybody? Like you're taking 2 of the Boozer twins. I don't know who stays over on this Duke team, but if you were to take the number 1 player in the country, don't you think he thinks he's going to start whatever school he goes to?
I agree. That's right. And I'm looking, I didn't know much about the 2 Boozers, but Cameron is 6'8". The other kid is 6'3". So it's not like they're both playing the same position, but to me, 6'8" and 6'9" means they may end up being close to the same position at least. But tomorrow feels like it could be a big deal if what Biancardi says is true, and if Ament does actually make his commitment announced tomorrow, because I just got a text from somebody else that says, well, it looks like he's not committing tomorrow. So there we go. It's 2 different things you see on Twitter at the same time, which would not be the only time that's ever happened. But this is also a big key to what the team looks like next year. You got 3 freshmen coming in. The Lebanese kid, I still cannot remember his name. I think Carter Knox, didn't Knox tweet something about running it back?
I think Richmond did.
Okay.
I think Richmond. I haven't seen, which I'm not as savvy on the whole social media, but I do see something that Richmond had said, like run it back. I don't know. What I saw, Carter Knox, was somebody had offered him $3 million. So I guess I don't think I saw the right thing. I think it was one of those April Fool's too early jokes.
But you want Carter Knox on this team next year.
I think he's a top 20 player in college basketball. I do. I think if you're talking about guys that are coming back next year, I don't think there's 20 players better, especially in the SEC. From what I saw, watching, I think he's a top 20 player in the SEC. Absolutely.
it makes a lot of sense for Nate Ament to cancel his commitment for tomorrow, because who's going to believe what anybody says on April 1st? Like, don't do it tomorrow. Do it on Wednesday. Well, like nobody worries about practical jokes or anything like that the day after April Fool's Day. Like, tomorrow should be the last day out of the 365 days of the year that anybody makes any public statements about anything, because no one's ever going to believe it, especially when it comes to commitments.
That means expect an announcement from Trump tomorrow.
877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Well, it seems there's an announcement about every day.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, just
Fake news.
about every day right now. But what will it look like next year? You know, if Richmond says he's coming back, so there's one, and you got I can't remember. I didn't write the names down of all the commitments, and obviously my brain's kind of moved over to baseball. But it's going to be a younger team. You know, it just is. And I know, where does DJ Wagner fit in to all this? Because there's a point guard that's in this class. And what if Boogie, you know, comes back? Like, there's only going to be, how many point guards are you going to have on the team here? Like, DJ, to me, feels like it's somebody that you'd want on the team with experience, somebody that obviously the coaching staff trusts. This is someone that is a reason that you got to the Sweet 16. He is a reason why the Hogs improved and got better when it looked like they may only win 2 or 3 games. I mean, to me, when Boogie goes down, DJ Wagner's play is a reason that Arkansas got better. So I look at some opinions about, well, you don't know if we need him back next year, and I think this is somebody who could still be a really important piece of the team.
And so you're going to go get evaluated, Phil, and I don't know what he's a 2nd-round pick. He's not a 1st-round pick in this next year's draft. DJ
or Boogie?
DJ needs to come back. That's what I thought we were talking about. DJ, sorry.
No, we are. I just don't know if he's looking in the draft or if he'll end up getting, or if it's not. I don't think Cal will encourage him to not stay. I don't think that's in his DNA. I don't think that's in Cal's DNA.
Well, it's you want to give these kids the proper information. You don't want to lead them wrong, and I think Coach Cal does that. And so you're watching DJ Wagner play this year. He's not a 1st-round draft pick. So you come back. This is what, you're Bo Nix. You come back and then maybe work on your outside shot, work on your finishing around the game, get a hesitation move. I mean, the dude's he's amazing. Of course you want him back. There's still things to work on. I don't think he would be a 1st-round draft pick this year. Do you want to go play in the Chesapeake Bay League, in front of 800 people while you're just working your craft and nobody's really running and all, or do you want to stay here and play in big-time ball and have a chance to go to the Final Four?
And having a veteran guard that had experience in the tournament seems like a really big reason why the Hogs even got to the Sweet 16 this year, and I'm talking about Nelly Davis. Nelly's out of eligibility, so it's not like we can get him back, but just having an experienced guard who has come up big in tournaments for 2 different teams in Nelly's case, and in DJ's case for Arkansas. And look, we can have all of our opinions about maybe some hero ball in the Texas Tech game with Wagner, but he's still a reason that you were even there and a reason that you had the big lead that you had. So there's got to be something to be said about the veteran guard, because you're not going to have one outside of maybe DJ Wagner, because who else is left? I mean, again, my brain's kind of fried from the last 10 or 11 days, but I can't think of anybody that's left in terms of being a veteran guard. You can go out and get somebody in the portal, but you already have one who's here, and I just don't think that's in Cal's DNA to tell somebody who's one of his guys that followed him from Kentucky to Arkansas that you need to go find another place to finish your career. Maybe he's looking at the NBA and a 2nd rounder and all that, but I just expect DJ's back.
I don't think you could go out in the portal or go in high school and bring a guard in and he's going to be better than DJ Wagner. I don't know that. And I'm not saying you can't get somebody that's close, but yeah, that experience and what he has, you go get a kid that's in high school this year, he's not going to be better than what Wagner's going to be. So, and yeah, you got to take. I'm always, Phil, I'm on the players' side. I'm pro players, man, and so you got to take that into consideration. if you're not a lottery pick and you can make 6-7 figures playing basketball for the Hogs and work on your craft and get great coaching, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
And definitely make no giant pronouncements about anything in life on April 1st. And then Chris in Springdale, as everybody's thinking, April 1st hasn't been the same around here over the last 13 years. Because that happened April 1st, too, the Petrino thing. That's why nobody believed it when the news first came out. I remember I was at, it wasn't a Traveler game, but I was at the ballpark there, and you hear the news, but you're like, this isn't real. Of course this isn't real. Turned out it was. Make no major announcements about your life on April 1st. But you do want to get over to Andy's Frozen Custard because you're thinking you need something sweet and delicious, and Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Choco Rocco Concrete. If you got marshmallow cream, I'm ready for it. Frozen custard, roasted almonds, and marshmallow cream all mixed together in an Andy's Frozen Custard Concrete. You can get them at a lot of locations all around our listening audience in Fayetteville and Fort Smith, also in Conway and North Little Rock. Think about the Pick Six, because you can never just have one. You got people that are watching you eat at home. You want to make sure you got some for them. Pick Six. 6 of your favorite flavors. Mix and match them. It's the perfect treat. Andy's Frozen Custards, walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. And we are back for the home stretch of halftime after this.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Fishing season is here, and Jelco Outdoors has all the gear for you. The largest selection of rods, reels, and baits by Shimano, Daiwa, Lew's, 6th Sense, ACC, Todd Huckabee, St. Croix, G. Loomis, Bobby Garland, Spro, X-Zone, and many more. Fishing clothing, footwear, and rain gear by AFCO, Brundon's, Extra Tough, and Under Armour, Garmin Electronics, and much, much more. Jelco Outdoors, your fishing partner in the River Valley. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport, because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the best part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Walked into the room. There was voodoo in the vibes. I was captured by the style, but I could not get you right. Now I stand here helplessly, hoping you get into me. I am so into you.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Man, I'm so happy to be back home, Matt. I'm not saying this for any complaint. This is just a fact of what life is like. Basically, over the last, I'd say 6 weeks, I've probably been in my own home and slept in my own bed 4 or 5 days in the last 6 weeks. I actually get the next 5 nights at home because the baseball team's playing in North Little Rock tomorrow, and I live in Little Rock. And then I don't have to get to Fayetteville again until Friday for Arkansas, Missouri. So, is this the time of the year everybody does their spring cleaning? Because this is when you need it. The moment I pulled into the carport yesterday, I nearly fell down getting out of the car because I slipped on the pollen. So all I see when I step outside is pollen on everything that's in the carport. All I see when I'm inside the house is every little speck of dust that's been sitting there for the last 6 weeks. And it's driving me crazy. So I don't get weekends these days. And again, I'm not saying that for any complaint. I just got to find the time to just clean the place up because it doesn't look right.
It's wild on the frontier, man. You get to travel a lot. You know, if I'm not home for like 5 hours, I start getting a little itchy. So the fact that you've only spent 5 days, I like to stay in my bed every night. Yeah,
I think I'm the other way around. Like I get a little itchy if I do 5 days in a row at home. Like the summertime when baseball season's over, I can keep myself occupied for about 2 days, and then I start. Like I'm too used to researching teams that football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and baseball's playing. So when there's not any of that to do, I don't know what to do with myself. So I mean, I get ready for baseball tomorrow, but I just at the top of my mind is just everything that feels like it needs to be cleaned, which is all the floors, all the laundry, every linen, every day. The one thing that is clean is I had the dishwasher going before I left. So everything in there is still clean, but that's it. Everything else in this filthy house is stinking filthy. I'll figure it out at some point, though. I don't know.
Sit in your favorite chair, have a martini, and sweep up a little bit.
Man, you're encouraging me to take a load off.
The whole 9 yards with Bruce Willis and the late great Matthew Perry. You know, sit in your chair, have a martini.
I'll only watch that movie for Amanda Peet. And for no other reason.
She's okay, isn't she?
Yeah, she's just fine. Yes, agreed. But my favorite show came to an end. Severance, the second season is over. And boy, that was outstanding television. Got to find something else to watch. And I'm just not good. Taking the shoes off, putting the feet up, holding the remote, and vegging out. I don't know. I need a little help with this. We'll figure it out at some point, though. I don't know. But for tomorrow, it's my one home game. I get one football home game, one basketball home game, one baseball home game, and then I'm on the road for all of them. Fayetteville's home, but it's not where my house is. So it just takes a little bit longer to drive to those games than it will to drive the 10 or 12 minutes tomorrow. And then I always love this when I get I guess I'll do the show tomorrow at Dickie Stevens, if they let me in. Like, that's another thing. I used to just be able to walk into the booth there because I would have keys to the ballpark when I worked there. And that's the one thing. Like, I love everything about broadcasting Razorback baseball, but I don't get keys to the park. And I don't get the fob that will allow me to walk in. Like, you should see me sometimes figuring out how am I gonna sneak into Baumwalker today to do the show. I've never had to climb over one of the wrought iron gates. At some point, I may have to. Every other ballpark I always worked in, Matt, I had keys. I don't even know the people that run that team anymore. It's a whole different thing. And I think they still have the little piece that I had in my bedroom growing up in the radio booth. So I guess it'll feel a little bit like my bedroom tomorrow.
Get that Lana Del Rey bullet train, Little Rock to Northwest Arkansas, man. You could really cut down your commute.
I did send a direct message to one of our former pitchers. His name is Marshall Denton. Some may remember him as Angus Denton, and then he was Marshall Denton, and he is a pilot. And I bumped into him at the Little Rock Airport before, and I don't remember where I was flying, but it was 2 years ago. He offered to fly me to a game or a series. So I direct messaged him today. Got any plans to go to a road series anytime soon? Where else are we going? It's Athens, Gainesville, and Baton Rouge. Those are the only 3 road series left. They're all, I guess he could drive to Baton Rouge, but it's a little lengthy. But it would be kind of cool to have my own personal aircraft for a road series. Never had that for Henderson football. That was always fun. It was your friend, you remember RJ. RJ and I would do those games. Yeah, and we would get flown in an air ambulance from the Hot Springs airport, the little Hot Springs. It was literally an air ambulance. There was a stretcher inside the thing. And it flew us to Alva, Oklahoma, to never any of the Arkansas schools. We drove to Monticello. We drove to Searcy. We walked across the street for the Battle of the Ravine. But going to Southwestern Oklahoma State, where Coach Musick used to coach, that was a flight. Alva, Oklahoma, which was as close to the panhandle of Oklahoma as I've ever been, that was a flight too, and it was in an air ambulance. Or a little tiny 4-seater that, Matt, you wouldn't have fit in that thing. That I would not have encouraged you trying to get into that tiny little airplane.
Wonder if Southwest Oklahoma State, my twin sisters played basketball there. I bet they're probably a little bit before her.
They were Bulldogs.
I wonder if their paths ever crossed.
That's kind of cool. Well, she did 12 years there, man.
My sister was a 4-year. Grace was a 4-year starter, and Stephanie, she played, and then she was just so talented and gifted that she decided she didn't want to play basketball, so she went out for cross country and got third in the first meet. So they just gave her a cross country scholarship.
It's good to have some natural physical.
Yeah, have something to fall back on, huh?
I don't know what that's like. Scott remembers RJ as old Slamaramaroo himself. Scott, do you remember one of the other things he said on a Traveler broadcast with me, which I refuse to say on this program here today, because it would be just a little bit really, really off color?
Moisture laden.
It was quite reddish.
I know. Thinking about your labrum, I think, is what he was trying to the shoulder labrum. But no, Freaky Joe, whenever because you talk a lot of music, and RJ Hawk likes Miley Cyrus, the Cannonball Wrecking Ball song, but he also likes Future, the rapper. So I always it's RJ Hawk Futures that's his name. Yeah.
Scott remembers the word too. He texted it in. It starts with an L. Oh, I don't even need to think about this because then I'm going to break up. That was literally the funniest thing I've ever experienced on the radio before, and I had to act like he didn't say it.
Like how your boy Stephen A. put Nolan Richardson into the early ground.
Yes. Yeah. And then what the next segment he said, I'm very well aware that Nolan Richardson is 11th. It was like the first thing he said after he said his name is rest in peace. You don't say rest in peace when you think the guy's alive. Right? That's not how it goes.
You say Godspeed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Come on, Stephen A. That's what happens when you're supposed to be an expert on everything and act like you are. I'd like to feel like maybe if you ask a question here on halftime and I don't know the answer, I might actually give you the answer. I don't know. So like, here's one for you. Mr. Peak from Rogers asked, do you think Keyshawn Hall or Nick Pringle come to the Hill? And I don't know. I have no answer for you, Mr. Peak. I wish I did, but I'm not going to make it up either.
Either one. We have to. You look at these 4 teams. I know we were talking about that earlier. The 4 teams that are left in the tournament. What do they have in common? They have some bigs. They got some athlete. All 4 of these teams got dudes that are. You gotta have. What was that number 5 from Texas Tech? You gotta go out there and find. You gotta go out there and get a couple bigs.
Well, I mean, you got a good one in Adu, right? I mean, that was a big that you went and got him for the very same reason why we saw in the tournament. Well, you're thinking more than one, though, right?
Well, so if Big Z's coming back, and then if Brazil comes back, those are kind of your floater bigs that shoot threes and are athletic. Then you got to go get 2 that have a dump truck for an ass that they can put it on you, and you gotta have some guys that look like number 5 that. I mean, Duke has them. Houston has them. Florida has. I mean, you look at all these teams. Auburn, they all have guys that look like that. Arkansas doesn't have a lot of guys that look like that.
You want to hear on the recruiting visit the beep 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 of the truck backing up?
Tonka.
Oh, I love those Tonka trucks. Is there a certain size of the ass that you're looking for, or
what about your boy Zebo, Zach Randolph? You think about him at Michigan State. It's like you know it when you see it. You're like, yep, we need a couple of those.
You mean you're talking about an ass you could set a drink on, or an ass that's really good for boxing out? Probably both. One or the other would be the same thing in this case. 877-377-6963 to get with you. I was here. The term that I've heard for the guys with the giant backsides would be, we got to get some beef down low. And Jamie from Fayetteville said, need some beef down low. Not beef tallow, beef down low. And that'll work really well in the tournament for you. Guys with maybe a couple of gray hairs, a lot of facial hair that don't even need to jump to rebound. Just on the strength of the backside and the ability to control somebody with your butt. Don't even need to jump. And a bad attitude, in Jamie's words. I like that, too.
Bad intentions. I like it.
Yes, they are. A text out of the 479 says that Vandy fans' eyes were moisture-laden this past weekend. But if I were to point out that on the baseball broadcast, they would be very wet.
It was the pollen. It was the pollen in there.
Very wettish eyelashes. That's right. It was the pollen. It wasn't the 8 home runs. It wasn't the first shutout win at Vanderbilt for any team since 2022, which also coincided with the last time that Vandy was swept in their ballpark in 2022 by the same Tennessee team. It wouldn't have had anything to do with that. No, it wouldn't have had anything to do with Arkansas erupting in the 8th inning from down a run to winning 7-3 and the tears that might bring as well. All right, Arkansas baseball is positioned so well to continue to succeed at the level that they are. And it's been going on now since 2017. This is, and I'll put it in these terms because this is probably the right way to put it, the most successful regular season team in the country since 2017. And I don't even think it's close. The postseason success has been there too, just not in the last couple of years, and it's not a national championship. Now, Vanderbilt baseball, they've got the 2 natties, but they have a player development problem that Arkansas, I don't think right now does have. And I try to get this point across on the baseball broadcast. There's payment. The guys are looking to get paid. I think that's in every sport. The facilities and the winning and all of that. And I can appreciate the thought that winning and development do go together. But I'm going to tell you a main reason why baseball players choose to go to Arkansas is because they feel that they are going to develop into better players there. And Vahiva Aloy has improved in the 2 years. He was good last year. He's gotten to great at shortstop and a heck of a lot better at the plate. Cam Kozel was nothing like the hitter now that he was last year at Vanderbilt. That's not a matter of health. That's a matter of somebody that's just developed quickly. He deserves the credit for that. You know who else deserves some credit for this? The coaches. Nate Thompson, everybody's favorite bashing bag for the reasons why Arkansas loses whenever game they lose, and people will point out to Nate Thompson. Okay, Nate Thompson is also a reason why Logan Maxwell is doing better now than he ever did before. Health is another reason why. Do you think Charles Davalon just blossomed immediately from one year to the next into the hitter he is here? He's working with Nate Thompson. He's working with the other guys on this team. The coaches deserve the credit too. Not all the credit, it's more the players. But these guys are developing. They're developing. They're not coming here just to be Razorback players. They're coming here because they want to play at the next level, because they want to go into the draft. They want to be Major League Baseball players. That's why you go play for SEC teams, because you're going to develop better than you will anywhere else. And here at Arkansas, on the mound, at the plate, they're developing. Isn't that why guys choose to go to play somewhere? Everybody's got big dreams. Everybody's got the 2-star, the 3-star, they all have dreams of playing NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. There you have all these reasons why you choose to go play for one place or next. Vanderbilt's not developing their players right now. Arkansas is developing their players right now. That's independent of payment. That's independent of scholarships. One program's better than the other.
You either like to compete or you like to dance. So it kind of figured out what Vandy likes to do. They rather play ring around the posy. I've had every single coach, whenever you're going up, it's, do you like to compete? And if you don't want to compete, I don't want you.
Let's break, wrap up halftime after this.
I was just calling to tell you, Phil, what a pleasure it was to listen to you with the baseball game.
This is halftime.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks? Think train.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
On this road, you know I walked in alone. That was a long time ago. Now I'm at your side. I feel like and I've been dreaming of you.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Good stuff getting back here today with everybody on a Monday. We'll do it all over again for a Tuesday. We'll, at least we expect, we'll have Alyssa Orange, Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio on April Fool's Day. I got no big plans for anything involving April Fools tomorrow, Matt, because that's the kind of thing you expect people are going to laugh at your jokes and laugh at the practical stuff and everything, and then somebody's going to bring a right hook at the wrong time. I just plan on going to the ballpark, go to Dickie Stevens tomorrow, 5:30 air. I'll do the show there, and I'm just going to treat it like it's March 32nd.
Maybe your favorite number ones. They can be 1A, one side, your CDs that used to have, or your albums. What was your favorite first song on out? Who's your favorite number one quarterbacks? Mine's OG Warren Moon. Who do you, is some people like Cam Newton. There's all sorts of number ones to go at it. Yeah. 4-1, Dirk Nowitzki, that's there you go as well. So, I mean, we celebrate the entire catalog.
There's a whole catalog to celebrate, right? And, maybe we'll get into football at some point this week because spring practice does get back going, I think, today. It feels a little odd to not be kicking that around all that much. Football really dominates quite a bit, but I think in the future there's going to be a lot of basketball this time of the year. And part of it is because the Hogs will be playing. Part of it is hope. Part of it is also the expectation you'll get there because Cal's taken every team that he's coached to the Final Four at least once. But, I mean, I'm just sort of expecting that sometime during his tenure, we'll be talking about the Hogs in the Final Four on March 31st.
I'm interested to see who our two deep wide receivers are. That when you're talking about who's because that's a position that's going to go through a lot of change, Jordan Anthony, C.J. Brown. We have 5 newcomers. Obviously, you want to know the offensive line. You got to be up. But I'm interested to know who the wideouts are going to be. Who's going to take charge and be that one? Are you going to have an Andrew Armstrong, or is it going to be by committee?
Yeah, it's a lot of guys to look at, that's for sure, and not many of them played here at Arkansas. Stay tuned. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes. Our Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast available shortly, thanks to C Research. And we'll do this all over again tomorrow. So for Matt Jones, Kristen Johnson, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.